Welcome to chapter number 4. This is called loss and gain. As far as gains is concerned, I've discussed so much in the previous chapters of why do I think that it's interesting to play a guitar with only 5 strings, tuned in intervals of 4s, symmetrically tuned. But it's important and honest that we address the loss. What do we lose? We lose, first of all, some range. How much? We lose exactly a major third if we are comparing 2 guitars with the same amount of frets. Let me explain. I have here my deluxe Telecaster with 22 frets, okay? So I can reach here a B flat. If I had 6 strings tuned in traditional tuning, I would reach a high D. Here. It's a major third. It's not a big loss. I've transcribed solos from different guitar players that I like, and not so many people are so high. So that's one loss. We lose in range a little bit. Another loss that we will have, is that I wouldn't call a loss. We're going to have to adapt in this way. We're going to have to be smart in order to see when a 6-string guitar player might play, for example, a major triad around here. That will be only 3 notes. Yeah? F, A, C. He might finger this around here on the neck. We're going to have to come higher and do it here, okay? We can still do the same things that they do. We can still do the same thing. We're going to have to come higher. Now, another limitation that we have is that guitar players who play with 6 strings will have a very comfortable way of playing open chords in this position, right? We're going to have to travel more with our thumb in the back of the neck in order to play. More traveling. We get accustomed to it, believe me. So, but that's something I have to address. Another thing we will have is that when we play open chords, for example, a G major in this case, we have the major triad, yeah, G, B, D, and then we have repetitions, G, and D. We have repetitions. With a 6-string guitar, we will have yet another repetition in the higher, but it still sounds very beautiful. G major. If you close your eyes and you hear this, you would not be able to tell if I'm playing with 5 strings or with 6 strings. So it's the same sound. Now, when you want to play chords with extensions and alterations, here we will have some limitations. We can play most chords with 2 extensions and 2 alterations, but some are not possible to do. Let me show you an example. If you want to play, for example, let's say a D7 with a 9th and the 13th, right? If you play with a 9, it will be this. If you play with a 13, it will be this. Now, there's no way to play both, because the 9, we can play it here, but how can we possibly play a 13? There's no way to reach that at the same time. With a 6-string guitar, we can do that. So here we're going to have to do, if we're going to play the 2, you want to hear the 2 extensions, you're going to play first with a 9 and then with a 13, or vice versa. 13, 9, yeah? 13 and then the 9. However, certain chords are absolutely possible to play. Let's say that you want to play a D with a flat 9 and the sharp 11. You can perfectly do it like this. Let's say that you want to play a D7 with the sharp 9 and flat 13. You can still do it. Alright? So most chords are playable like this. In some cases, chords are much easier to play. For example, with a 9 and a 6, right? It's just very easy to play. Now, this is very important. An important limitation is the limitation that you will put on yourself. This is, psychologically speaking, the worst limitation we can have. Because some people will accept you, some people will reject you. The people who will reject you are the people who are mostly afraid of changes, of new things. People who are accustomed to do something for years in the same manner, seeing other people doing the same things for years, and when you come up and say, look, I tune my guitars in intervals of even fourths and with only 5 strings and I can do things, and they will be skeptical about it. I'm not talking everybody, but you will encounter resistance. So it's up to you to be able to play your guitar by studying, practicing. I will help you, I will show you that it's possible. And then people who will not accept you, it's just, you will have to learn how to deal with rejection. We have to learn how to deal with rejection in everyday life, always. So that's the most important limitation, the one you will put on yourself. If you get rid of those bad influences of people who tell you, you cannot do it, it's impossible, or you're crazy, why do you want to change something like this? Don't pay attention to that. Trust me, we can do it and I will show you how. So, follow me to the next chapter. Thank you.